Hello everyone, in today's tutorial we'll see how to use Photoshop to turn your pet or your favorite animal into an amazing painting like the one you can see in here. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, first, if you want to help support this channel, check out Envato Element and also the sponsor of this video. Envato Element is a must-have library for all creators out there. With a vast library of resources available in Envato Element, you can save time and effort and money. With their unlimited downloads of premium design and stock templates, including print templates, graphics, photos, and intros for your video too, and also royalty-free audio tracks. And to get all of these assets at once, you only need one subscription. So if Envato Elements is for you, you can get a 50% discount of an annual subscription. So instead of paying $33 for a monthly plan, you'll be paying only $16.50 per month for an annual plan. You can check them out today using the link down in the video description. Okay, so let's go ahead and open Photoshop. And then we'll go and open the image that we'll be using, which is this painting in here. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do is to actually make a selection of the head, because we're gonna remove it using the contents aware, of course. But before we're gonna do that, we're gonna make a copy or duplicate this background layer by pressing Ctrl or Command J. And then I'm gonna make a selection in this part in here. Then I will make a selection outside so I can fill it with the contents aware. But this part I want to be clean. I don't want it to be infected with the contents aware effect. Alright, so I'm gonna use the pen tool to do that. So I will go and zoom in. Then I will start from just right here. We'll make a point, and then I will go just right here and make a point, and this time I will drag just like that so I can make a curve. If you are wondering why I'm having this is red, because I changed it in this gear icon. You can just open it and choose the color you want and also the thickness, in case you didn't know that. Alright, so let's go back. And now if I press Alt or Option, I can control this handle. So I will put it just right here, and I will finish with another point in here by making a curve again, and I will move it and one click, and I will make another point, and I will make a curve like that. And now I can, by pressing Alt, I can remove this, and I will make a selection outside of the head this time, just like that. Alright, now I need to load this selection, or I need to change this path to a selection. So I can press Ctrl or Command Enter or Return, or I can just right click and choose Make Selection, and this will open, and I will press OK. Alright, now to apply the contents aware, you can either select the marquee tool or the quick selection tool and right click and choose fill, or you can go to edit and choose fill, and also you can use the shortcut Shift F5. Alright, now in the contents, make sure that you are selecting content aware, and also color adoption is checked. It's very important. And you don't need to use any blending for this because it will mess everything. And I will press OK. And now Photoshop, it will calculate, and as you can see we have this, which is very good, even that it looks a little bit messy in this part, but we're gonna fix it using the clone stamp tool. But we still we have this part of the shirt not touched, which is very good. Right, now I'm gonna use the clone stamp tool, and then by pressing Alt or Option and one click in here, you can actually copy the information from, as you can see there is a plus in here. If I press Alt or Option, I can actually copy the information from here and paste it in here. And also you can make the brush softer. It will help blend everything together, but this part it's not important because it will be covered anyway. But in here we need to actually clean all this very good. So I'm gonna make the brush to around 80 or 85 in the hardness, and I will zoom in, and again I press Alt or Option and I will try to be a little bit precise in this area. Alright, something like that. So I'm trying to follow this part of the shirt in here. Alright, I think this is looking good. I mean, we're still gonna cover it with the dog that we're gonna use, so it's all good. I think this is actually really good because it's not that terrible anyway. Alright, now we have our layer ready. You can go ahead and open the image of the dog. So I will take it and open it in a new tab by dragging it in here, and then I will switch to the marquee tool, and I will make a selection of the head of the dog, something like that, and then I'm gonna copy it by pressing Ctrl or Command C, and I can just close this tab, and then I'm gonna press Ctrl or Command V to paste. Alright, now we're gonna actually name this to dog, and then I will right click and choose Convert to Smart Object. Alright, now we can just enter the smart objects and delete the background of the dog in here. And because we have a solid background and the dog is clearly separated from the background, we can use the subjects method to do that. So I will go to select and I will choose subject. Alright, so we have a very good selection. So I will just apply a layer mask on this, and then I will save the smart objects by closing this tab and make sure to press yes to save, or you can press Ctrl or Command S to save it. Alright, so as you can see, we have the dog in here ready and cut. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl or Command T, and I want to rotate it a little bit, just like that, and I will move it to match this area in here. And actually I can also put down the opacity to around 70%. And this way I can see exactly where to put everything in here. Alright, so I will just make it bigger in this side and a little bit in this side. And I think this is looking good. I have everything in here lying together. Maybe I will move it a little bit to the left, and this should be fine. And I will press enter. Now I will bring back the opacity to 100%. And then I will I think I put this back to 60%. Alright, now I will apply a layer mask on this by one click on this layer mask, and I will switch to my brushes by pressing B and using black as a foreground color. As you can see in here, I can delete from the layer mask in here. So I will make sure that I'm selecting the layer mask, and I will delete all these areas that I don't want. I'm deleting in this parts because we need to be precise in this area, so it's okay. We're gonna bring it back. Alright, now I'm gonna zoom in, and I will switch to white as my foreground color this time by pressing X, and I will make the hardness to around 80 or 85%, and I will bring back all these parts in here. Alright, as you can see, this is looking good. We have our Mr. Dog in here all set. So I'm just gonna make sure that everything in here is good together. Now I think it looks good. Alright, now we're gonna apply a little bit of shadow in this area in here. And to do that, we're gonna make a new layer on top of this and call this shadow. And then I'm gonna clip it to the dog layer in here by pressing Alt or Option and go between the two layers and one click. And this should clip it with the dog layer. Alright, now I'm already in my brushes. I will put down the opacity to 60 or 50%. And then I'm gonna press Alt or Option, and I will sample this dark color that is in here. And I will make the brush actually hardness to 0%. And I will just paint in the edge in here, so it will look like a little bit of shadow from the clothes. Don't need to be precise. That's a little bit to make it believable. Alright, something like that. Maybe a little bit in this area. Alright, I think this is looking good. Now I'm gonna bring down the opacity to around 70 or 60%, and then I will switch the blending mode to overlay. Alright, I think this is good. Now it's time for us to apply some adjustments. So I will select the dog layer, and then I will go to image, adjustment, and I will choose shadow and highlight. Because we're gonna apply an oil paint filter, I like to use shadow and highlights first, because it will balance all the tones and all the details together. So I will keep everything in here to default, and I will press OK. And to give you a little bit of preview, this is before and this is after. So it's actually balanced the tone quite a bit, and this is really good. Alright, now we'll go to filter, and I will choose stylize, and I will choose oil paint. Alright, for the brush I will put 5, because I don't want it to be strong, because as you can see this is not a very oily painting that we are using as a background, so it's better to match it just a little bit but not a lot with the oil paint filter, because it will make it even smoother if we put a lot of values in here. So I will put 5 in the stylization, and 7 in the clearness, 10 in the scaling, and 0 in the presto detail in here. But feel free to experiment with all this. It's not something that you should put exactly with the values. It's depend on, maybe if you want to try another paintings with your dog or with your pet, you know, you need to match it with your eyes. So I will keep everything in here the same, and I will press OK. Alright, now I will go back to filter again, and this time I will choose filter galleries, and in the artistic folder in here I will open it, and I will choose dry brush, because as you can see the painting that we are using, it's a little bit drier or grungier, so I put this filter in here so we can make it a little bit dry. So the brush size I put 6, 10 in the brush details, and 3 in the texture. But again, feel free to experiment with this. It's not something that's it's 100%. You need always to change the values depending on the image that you're gonna use. And this way, it's good that we are using smart objects. We can always go back and adjust the values if we feel that it's not correct. So I will keep everything in here the same, and I will press OK. Alright, as you can see, this is actually make it a little bit better blending with the image, but we're still gonna apply another texture on it, so it will blend everything together. But this is before, how it was with the oil paint, and this is after. So it's actually dries quite a bit if you see the before and after. Alright, I think I'm gonna go back to filter again, and I will repeat the same filter, but this time I will bring down the opacity to 1 or 2, so let's keep it 2, and I will put down the brush size to 3, and I will bring down the brush details to 7, and I will press OK. And as you can see, this will make it even stronger, and that's OK. Alright, so we're almost done. Now we only need to apply a little bit of level adjustment on top of this. So I will select this shadow layer, and I will go to adjustments and choose levels. And I will make sure to clip it to the dog layer, and I will take the black values in here, and I will bring them to around 20 or 21. And also the midtones, I will try to match the painting that we have in the background, and with the light, something like that. And I can always bring back the opacity to 70%. Alright, I think it looks good. Now we'll go back to adjustments again, and this time I will choose color balance. So we'll put back a little bit of yellow to our image. Remember that I want to only apply this to the dog layer. As you can see in here, I didn't clip it with the dog layer, so it's very important to actually clip it, because I want only to apply this to our dog layer in here to match what we have in the background. So I will bring back a little bit of yellow by putting this to the left, and also a little bit of red, so it will be a little bit orangey, something like that. And as you can see, this is before and this is after. And I think I will put down the opacity to around 80%. Alright, so now it's time for us to apply our texture. So I will go and open the texture that we'll be using. So it's just a canvas picture that will help blend everything together. So I will open it directly to our document, and I will rotate it, and I will fit it with our canvas like that, and I will press enter. Now I will right click and actually rasterize this, because we're not gonna use any filters and I don't want to preserve it as a smart object. So I will keep it like that, and then I'm gonna actually change it to black and white by pressing Ctrl Shift U, and I will darken it quite a bit by applying a level adjustment. So I'm gonna press Ctrl or Command L, and this will open the levels in here, and I will make it a little darker with the midtones a little bit, just like that, and I will press OK. Now I'm gonna change the blending mode of it to overlay. I know it looks terrible for now, but we're gonna fix it using the blend if option. So I'm gonna double click on this to open the layer style dialog, and then I will go to the blend if for this layer, and I will press Alt or Option, and I will split this slider, and I will put it to 120, and I will do the same for the underlying layer, but this time I will use the white values. So I will take it and pressing Alt or Option and split it and put it to 200, and I will press OK. And as you can see, this is before and this is after, and if I zoom in, you can see that everything is start to blend together, as you can see. Alright, so the last step that we're gonna use is to apply a little bit of sharpen on this. So to do that, we're gonna make a stamp visible layer by pressing Ctrl Shift Alt E all together, or Command Shift Option E all together, and this should make a stamp visible layer. And then I will call this sharpen. Now I'm gonna make it black and white by pressing Ctrl Shift U, and this will desaturate it. And then I will go to filter, down to other, and I will choose high pass. And for the high pass, I will put 1.4 pixels, and I will press OK. And then I will change the blending mode of it to overlay. And as you can see, this will sharpen even more our image. Alright, the last step that I'm gonna do is to actually put down a little bit of the opacity. So I will go to adjustment and choose hue and saturation, and this time I'm not gonna clip it with anything, so I will just put down the saturation a little bit to -20 or -25. So I will keep it -20. So let's see before and after. As you can see, this will bring a little bit of all that color. Alright, so actually I want to make it a little bit pop, so I will apply a curve adjustment, and I will try to actually color adjust or bring back some color to this image. So let's go and choose curves, and let's go to the RGB and start with the red. I'm gonna put the red a little bit up in the curves in here. So we just take it a little bit. I will just bring a little bit of the red and maybe a little bit of the cyan. Alright, I think this is good. And let's go to the green, and let's add a little bit of green too, just to give it a little bit of feel this with all the colors that we have in here. Alright, something like that. And I will go to the blue, and I will bring back the blues. So I don't like the orange tone in here, so it's better to color adjust everything in here. Alright, so maybe I will add a little bit of yellow, maybe not. Alright, just a little bit. Alright, so let's see before and after. I think this is much better than how it was. And this is actual image and this is after. Alright, I think this is good. And if you want to try more of adjustment to your image, of course feel free to do that, but for this tutorial I think this is good, and that will be all. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed and you liked this tutorial and it was a little bit helpful and fun for you to watch. If you try this, make sure to let me know. I have all the link down in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe and comment, and wait for more tutorials to come, and have a nice day. Thank you for watching.